Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to our webinar, How to Integrate Virtual Tape and 8 Reasons Why You Should. My name is Axe Signer, and I'm with Electronic Storage Corporation. We're located in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We are a software developer, so here at our Tulsa office, we have our own programming staff and also our own customer service and technical support staff. So we're going to talk about improving backup and recovery for IBM Power Systems in this webinar. Also, we are an IBM registered business partner and a Microsoft certified partner. So today's webcast, we're going to discuss a variety of options on how virtual tape or virtual tape library can be integrated into your backup and recovery operations, 8 reasons why you should add virtual tape, and then I'll go through a quick demonstration of some of the features of our LaserVault Vital virtual tape solution for IBM I. So virtual tape is several things that can be done in order to customize a solution to fit your backup environment and your backup requirements. Whether it is in place of physical tape or with physical tape, with a backup solution that you're currently using like BRMS or Robot Save in a virtual environment, combined with a custom backup solution, save backups to the cloud, or a gateway to a deduplication appliance that you might currently already have, or that you're currently in the market for any kind of backup deduplication appliance. So using virtual tape in place of physical tape. So the key to replacing physical tape with virtual tape is that it needs to look exactly like tape to the IBM I. You'll know the difference because it's easier, faster, better, but the IBM I system won't know the difference. So you're going to be able to use all your existing Go Save commands, Save Sys, Save Objects, Save Libraries, option 21 for a full system save, and a demode IPL from any of the virtual tapes that have a full system save that you need to restore from. But virtual tape doesn't require stacks of tapes like you see in that photograph there. So it's going to save you time, reducing risks, and eliminating worry, especially with tape, because we're going to talk about multiple copies of your backups, whereas in tape, you just have the one copy. So you can use virtual tape in combination with physical tape. Experts say that you should have a solution that can achieve a 3-2-1 backup, giving you 3 copies of your data on 2 different media technologies, one on disk, one on tape, and at least 1 copy that is offline or offsite. So all of those can be accomplished with LaserVault Vital, whether you're creating a tape directly from the LaserVault Vital backup appliance, or you're using Dupe Tape or Dupe Media BRM in order to perform copies to tapes that you can take offsite, store offsite, especially for long-term copies. If you have a requirement to store, say, 10 years worth of backups on, say, an annual tape or a monthly tape, or monthly backup or an annual backup, then you can certainly use either your existing tape device on your iSeries or connected tape device directly to the Vital server. Using virtual tape with BRMS, Robot Save, and other backup management solutions, this really makes it simple to integrate virtual tape with your existing backup process, whether it's BRMS, Robot Save, any of the Go Save commands. So this is plug and play. You connect it up to your iSeries, you're going to get a new tape device or a new tape library automatically with auto config, and you're ready to start adding tapes into the virtual system and then getting those into your backup solution to automate the whole backup and streamline the backup process, and especially with recovery. So using virtual tape to save IBM I backups to a deduplication appliance. The list you see on the right-hand side are several of the deduplication appliances that many of our customers use. They use those appliances for other backups, but you can also integrate the IBM backups to those solutions where you're getting deduplication, encryption, replication of your backups for the IBM as well as your other platforms. So it's just a way to leverage those backup appliances for your IBM backups without having to purchase a whole entire new solution or storage to save for those IBM saves. And basically what happens is that LaserVault Vital, the server itself or the VM, is just going to communicate to the deduplication appliance through Ethernet, high-speed Ethernet, or fiber channel. So using virtual tape to the cloud. This is really a simple process where you can actually integrate cloud backup storage where you can replicate your backups to the cloud. So you would have, in the terms of backup, in terms of speed of saves and recoveries, you'll want an on-premise copy, whether that's on a Vital server or SAN or NAS. But the ability to replicate to cloud storage means that you would have a second copy stored in cloud storage, which is secured, and also they will keep even another copy for you that's backed up at another facility for the cloud storage. You can use things like Amazon S3, Microsoft Azure, Google, whatever that you'd like to use in terms of your cloud storage. Or you may use a managed service provider that's, your DR site for your iSeries, where the data can be replicated to their location. Using virtual tape in a virtual environment, because ours is a software solution, it doesn't require any specific appliance or server hardware. It can be run in a Windows VM. Now, there is a requirement for this because you've got to connect LaserVault to the iSeries, either fiber channel or SAS. So in your virtual environment, the server that you're using would need a PCIe slot to install a fiber channel or HBA or SAS HBA to make that connection to the iSeries, because we're going to connect exactly like a physical tape device would connect. So 8 reasons to integrate virtual tape into your backup and recovery sooner than later. Simplicity. So automated processing, you're going to reduce human error, potential of theft of tapes, loss of tapes, tape drive failures. So virtual tape is simple and easy transition from tape because it's exactly like using tape. It's just faster and easier. Restores are faster, etc. Remote management. So no longer having to go into the data center to change out tapes, whether it's from your physical tape library or from your individual tape drives. The ability to be able to run your backups completely unattended without being on site is supporting a digital workplace initiative that you may have at your facility or at your company, to where you can completely manage everything remotely. Encryption. So with encryption is automatically included with our software solution, our VTL software solution. So this is going to give you the ability to have your data encrypted as it's being saved to disk. And then if it's being replicated, it is also encrypted as it remains encrypted as it's being replicated. Compression is also included. And that averages about 5-to-1 compression. That's included automatically in the product to where you can either compress during the backup or compress after the backup. And then it's also going to speed up any replication that you're performing of the data from one site to another. Deduplication. So our LaserVault Vital solution now has data deduplication. So we mentioned compression at averages 5-to-1, where your deduplication can be as high as 25-to-1 or maybe even higher depending on the type of saves that you do. So that compression with deduplication eliminates the footprint of disk storage for your backups, or reduces the footprint of your disk storage, and also greatly reduces the amount of bandwidth needed in order to replicate backups either to the cloud or to a DR site or co-location, whatever it is that your replication site is. And that is replication. So replication is basically an automated process of making copies of your backups from either one Vital server to another. If your deduplication appliance replicates backups, then that's already taken care of, so that you can have 2 digital copies of your backups for disaster recovery. So the flexibility is a great benefit of our system because it can be either completely customized in terms of storage, fiber channels, SAS, whatever it is that you need to store your backups, a second system for a DR site that you're replicating to, or you may be using a SAN or NAS or deduplication appliance for your backups. So you're leveraging existing disk space and existing deduplication appliance for your iSeries backups. So this is not one system that you're stuck with a particular appliance. This can be completely configured to meet your demands and your needs for your backups, and maybe even utilizing existing disk storage. Now, recovery is a really big thing. So you're not talking about any delays because tapes are off-site. All of these virtual tapes can be are going to be online, available to you to restore without having to go get a tape. So you're going to save a lot of time, excuse me, and greatly improve your ability for any business disruption for any reason, any developers waiting on a restore. You're going to be able to do restores instantly because every tape can be online available. Okay, so let's talk about, and once I'm finished towards the end there, I'll go ahead and answer questions. So if you do have questions that you want, I'll answer those towards the end. So our Vital solution comes with a web interface. So I'm going to log in with a username and password because it is secured. We're going to talk about libraries. So I have 2 tape libraries defined. Let's take a look at some of the parameters. So when we assist our customers, typically it's a remote connection to LaserVault to either install and configure the software on existing VM or server, or we have provided a server, whether it's a gateway that's connecting to storage or whether that server actually has storage for your backups. But this configuration is where we define where the backups are to be written. We're going to define how many storage slots that you need for your backups, and that can go as high as 16,000 storage slots for virtual tapes. We do emulate Ultrium 5. Now there are 2 things to note here is that we're not going Ultrium 5 speed. We're going much faster than that. And then we're also not limiting the virtual tapes to Ultrium 5 space. So if your backup is 20 terabytes, it can't fit all on one tape because there's no limit on the amount of data you can store on a tape. You see that there's settings for compression, deduplication, encryption, your encryption key, and some other things that replication and retention. We've got 3 examples of replication and retention where I'm either replicating my backups from one server to another. So you got a LaserVault Vital server, either at your DR site where you might be performing your saves or your production site, and then replicating those backups to another server. Amazon S3, this would be replication to the cloud as well as Microsoft Azure. So those are 2 cloud backup examples where you can replicate and set those backups to be copied to those locations. And this also does include retention, so you can set retention on your local saves and also your replicated saves. If you're using BRMS or Robot Save, that really takes care of everything for you in terms of rotating through tapes that expire. So that's a completely automated process. You may just use this particular configuration for replicating your backups from one location to another or to cloud storage. You can also set your remote retention, so that would mean your second copy can be the retention for those copies can be a different retention than the local copies. There's a nice list here of your replication jobs. This is going to show any replication jobs running, completed, and also there's email notifications set up to be notified via email when a replication job starts and when it completes. And that it completed without issue. So we'll go to library 1 and just take a look at our inventory of tapes. And we have 1 drive. Now we do support NPIV, so one physical fiber channel connection in LaserVault can can support up to 15 virtual tape devices. That could be a tape library with 15 drives. It could be 2 tape libraries where you split the drives into 2 different libraries, but 15 devices per fiber channel port on LaserVault, whether it's 8 gig, 16 gig, or 32 gig fiber channel. There's a create tape button here, and you can put in volume prefix, create multiple tapes, and you can go ahead and initialize those tapes. So you can specify the starting slot that's available and the number of tapes that you want to create. Now, one thing to note here too is that you can increase the number of tape slots anytime that you want. So if you need additional tape slots for, you've added another system that you're backing up, you need more tapes, go ahead into libraries and add more slots, and then go here to create those tapes for those backups. Once you've done that, then you automatically, TAP MLB V1 is my LaserVault tape library. Once you do that, you do a 9 here, and these will, all the new tapes will be star inserted status, ready to be added into robot, BRMS, or available to be used for any go save commands that you want to use for your backups, where you can use these tapes. So that inventory automatically gets updated anytime you add tapes to the tape library. So you now have a new tape library that has virtually unlimited number of slots and unlimited number of tapes. And all of those are available in this inventory for you to restore from. Now, being that we're in tape library mode here and you do a save, it's going to automatically load a tape based on, say you're using BRMS, for example, it's going to automatically load an expired tape into the drive and perform the save. You can also, of course, perform parallel saves where you're using multiple tapes for either multiple control groups, or your control group uses multiple devices for a parallel save. So the tapes are automatically loaded. Say you perform a restore, whatever tape that library or object that you're restoring, it'll automatically load that tape into the drive and perform the restore. So you get everything that you've got in a physical tape library. You just have everything online. You have a virtually unlimited number of tapes that are available to do restores. You have some other features like move. So if you needed to move a tape into a drive or to a different slot, if any of these are full system saves, you can IPL move the tape into the drive with the full system save and demode IPL your system with that tape drive. Because I'm administrator, I can delete tapes. I can export tapes. Export function means move them from where they're stored, which is the library path, whether that's local disk or network attached storage or deduplication appliance. That would be a network share path for those files, those virtual tapes. Export path moves those tapes out of that path and into a different path. So let's say it's a long-term tape and you want to put it in cloud storage or a different disk location or a different location itself. You can move those tapes, and you can always go to import, and the import will show you all the tapes that you've exported, and you can of course click on that and import that back into inventory. And that path there is actually cloud storage. Protect. Now you can do this from the iSeries too, but you can do it from here. Protecting the tape means it cannot be deleted, overwritten, initialized, or deleted, including the delete option here. So if it is protected, you can't delete. Now you have the ability to set up additional users to this interface and then limit those users to which of these features that they can use within the tape library. So if you don't want folks to have the delete function, the protect function, which means they can't protect or unprotect the tape, you can set that up within this interface with additional security for different users. Labels, let's go take a look at a tape that's got some more labels. This is kind of a cool feature. If you're not using BRMS or Robot Save, you don't have a database of the libraries and objects or the libraries that you've saved. So you can go here, instead of doing a display tape, you can go here and click on labels and see all the libraries that are in that save. Makes it really simple. Library 2, this one is set up differently. So you also have a way to use this as a tape device instead of a tape library. So if you're not replacing a physical tape library or another VTL solution, and you're using the go save commands, you can use LaserVault in what we call UBD mode, and that allows you to use it as a tape device. So when I go to my system, I'm using it as a tape device, and it is TAP V2 here. Now we have commands to automatically create tapes and load them into the drive. So if you wanted to create a tape for your backup, you could do that every day before the backup runs. You can do that automatically. So it automatically loads the tape, creates the tape, loads it, initializes it, and it's ready to go. So whatever backup your process is running, you just save to TAP V2. Or you can go ahead and create a set of tapes and then just rotate through those tapes by just loading them, because there's a load command in LaserVault that we have, and also a create tape command. So if you'd like to use it in this mode, you can do that because you're not replacing a tape library. You're simply replacing a tape device. Again, this has all the capabilities and features that we've discussed within this software application. It is software that we developed here with our own programming staff here in Tulsa. It's also a software product and hardware if we provide a server, fiber channel card, SAS card, whatever, that we also support with our team here in Tulsa. So what we would do is go over this with you in your backup environment. Let me go back to my end slide here just a second. Okay, so you can go to additional resources in the for additional resources. You can download some handouts that we have in the Go to Webinar panel. We have a guide on 8 reasons why switching to virtual tapes worth your time. Compare for yourself virtual tape versus physical, and then some technical specifications in terms of hardware, operating system, things like that you would need, connections that you would need to your system. We do have a recording of this webinar, and we'll share that with you. It'll be published on YouTube. So we'll be sharing a link to you for that, so you can hand that out to additional folks on your team. Go to laservault.com for more information, or IBM Global Solutions Directory. We are on there. And for a live demo, we will send you a $50 Amazon gift card for your time. And that live demo, what we'd like to do is get a very good handle on your iSeries environment in terms of the amount of data that you need to save and keep, in terms of the number of partitions that you need to save, the number of tape devices, fiber channel connections, and disk storage that you would need to have a complete solution, as well as what we do with compression, deduplication, and replication as well. So you can email us at info@laservault.com, mention AGC50 to get your gift card when the demo is complete, and then they give you a good idea, because we can configure a system, get you some pricing information, and so forth. We're going to have a quick drawing for a Bose Bluetooth speaker if you're attending this session here. So we'll be notifying the winner of that Bose Bluetooth speaker when we have the drawing. Again, there's our contact information. We've had some questions, so let me go ahead and go to those. How much faster than LTO7? Could be up to twice as fast as LTO7. I've seen LaserVault go as high as 2 gig a second at one of our sites, but it can definitely go faster. The solution, saving the disk is going to be quite a bit faster. So it could be twice as fast. It could be 50% faster. Really kind of depends on your backup. I know that if you're potentially saving a lot of IFS documents, things like that, it may not be twice as fast as tape for your backup speed, but it is considerably faster. The other way that people make LaserVault run even faster than that is run a parallel save using 2 tapes instead of 1. So it's a good way to improve the speed of your backups. Also, I believe in BRMS, if you're saving IFS, you can use async bring to help increase the backup speed on your IFS data. Any other questions that I can answer? Okay, great. Well, let us know if you'd like to talk more about your backup environment for the iSeries, and then for your gift card, and then we'll have the drawing for the speaker, and we'll send you a link on the recording of this webinar. So thanks everyone for attending, and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.